Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This video is going to be my monthly haul for the month of April. This is everything that I bought in April and I'm just gonna be showing you these products while talking a little bit about some initial impressions, maybe some updates. Since I've done these videos, I have worn most of these things again, but it's a bit early to do like a new makeup update, so that's kind of what I try to do with these makeup hauls. I think they're very fun. I think they're a great way to kind of keep you up to date with my thoughts. So let's get into it. So first up, for me it feels like the beginning of this month was like 6 months ago. So much has happened in the past month. It has been hectic, so I don't fully remember what has happened like makeup shopping wise, and I feel like I have everything here. I have done my best, but it could be that some things I didn't actually buy together or I forget something. It's just the way it is. Some of these things, it just feels like I've tried them months ago and it's just a bit blurry. But let's start with, I think one of the first things I bought this past month is the Kiko Milano new lasting matte veil liquid lipsticks. I bought these, but I also bought some other things with this order because I had a discount code for my birthday that was in March. And I had some points that I could also use for this order. So all in all was really cheap, all of this together. But I got two of the new long-lasting matte lip veils. I did a video on these and I was so impressed with these. I have the shade 05 and 07. These are such a nice formula. They are very lightweight, very easy to apply. They look beautiful on the lips for a really long time. They're not drying, but they're also not hydrating, but they stay on the lips and they stay looking good. And I really like the shades that I have. The 05 is a really nice kind of lilac-y nude, and 07 is kind of like a cool tone pink nude. And these are just so cute. Just watch the video. Watch the video. You can hear my thoughts. I was so impressed with these. I have been wearing these and they are just really good liquid lipsticks. Like, they are just so effortless to wear. They look so good and they are very affordable. So I was really impressed with these. I also got two of the... Now I realize I have the wrong shade. I grabbed the wrong shade. Alright, so it was in a bag. So I bought two other shades, two more shades of the lip stylo, the jelly stylo. I mean, two of the jelly stylo. In my last haul I showed you the jelly stylo in 501, and this is such a good kind of like sheer shimmery glossy lip product, lip balm. I really loved it, so I wanted to try other shades just to see if these would be similar, what formula is actually like. Can this be like my new favorite lip formula? Because I was really impressed. And I got the shades 512, and this is a bright fuchsia, and oh, it's pretty bright on the lips, but I think it's a really cool shade. I will just swatch it here. So that is a I always have trouble saying that word. Now I can't do it anymore. You see it. It's kind of like a purpley pink. It is a really cool shade. A little bit out there, but it's like long wearing enough. It doesn't smear everywhere. It isn't like too crazy where it's just gonna go everywhere. So pretty happy with that shade. But I think my favorite of the two new ones that I bought is 507. And this is kind of like this rosy pink shade. So it's kind of like a balmy, shiny, rosy pink. I think that one is also really cute. They are very different from the 501 though. It's not the same thing. The 501 is very shimmery. It's very sheer. It is very kind of like gloss-like. These are not as gloss-like. They are more like balms. I still really like them, but it's not like all of the lipsticks in this range are the same formula. So that is a good thing to know. And I've been really liking wearing these. They are just so easy to wear. They feel really nice on lips. They're very hydrating. I really like the shades. It's just like this balmy, very easily applied product that is gonna wear quite well. It's not too Vaseline or anything that's gonna slip all over. It's not slippery. So I've actually really enjoyed these lip stylos. I've really enjoyed like getting to know that formula a little bit. And then one more thing is that I got the lip volume, the lip cream in Tutu Rose, and I've been using this quite a bit. It's kind of like a lip balm. It has a slight tint to it. It just adds a little bit of freshness to the lips, but it's more of a kind of like creamy lip balm, liquid lip balm. It's really nice. I've really liked it. It is only like €7, I believe, and it's just a really nice one to throw in the bag and to just apply whenever your lips feel dry. So I've enjoyed it quite a bit. So that was a pretty good order. Then I also got in these Singe brushes. So I paid quite a lot of money for these Singe brushes because the shipping and the taxes, it was high, but they were so worth it. I've been using these non-stop with every makeup look. Like basically only these brushes I have used since I got them in. Like they do everything for me that I need. Sometimes I will get a little bit of a small pencil brush like this. I do like a pencil brush sometimes for like an inner corner highlight, but in theory, like for most looks, like for 9 out of 10 looks, I just grabbed for these Singe brushes, and these are just so nice. These are my new favorite brushes. All of these shapes just come in so handy, and they all have this different role for me in the set. What I mainly love about these is that the quality of the hairs is so good. They are not like this very fluffy synthetic brush where it just feels too fluffy and you don't really have the grip or the control. It is really almost like a natural hair brush, which I really enjoy, but they are much easier to use than that because these hairs are not gonna break off when you use them in like this kind of makeup eraser switcher pot. I have this Catrice one, the Quick and Easy Brush Cleanser Pot, no water needed, but it has kind of like a sponge inside where you just like run them through and then they're like pretty much clean, like at least the pigments are off the brushes, and you can use it with this and it's just amazing. I really love these so much. Like the shapes are so nice. I've enjoyed them so much, especially the EO2. It's like such a favorite. I really love it, but I've also used the EO3 a lot for blending and it has really like upped my blend game. These are so easy to use. I've really enjoyed them. I have used them in a video as well where I go into depth a little bit more, but for now I'm a huge fan, and even though they were quite expensive, I'm still happy that I got them because I use them like basically every time, because I use them every time I do my makeup. Then I believe this was also this month, the Strawberry Shortcake Berrylicious palette by Glamlight. This was a little bit of an impulse purchase because I didn't think I was gonna have the chance to buy this palette when it was first launched. I don't even know how long ago that was, maybe like 6 months or 4 months, like during, I think it was during Christmas, like in the fall. It was a little bit of a strange release, maybe you could argue it was a little bit of a strange release, but when this was released I was like, that's such a cute palette, but it's a bit hard for me to get Glamlight. At least I thought so, because now I've been kind of like eyeing things on Monlit EU and it's a lot cheaper to get things there, but at this point I was not shopping there yet. I wasn't aware of that yet really, and this became available on Boozy Shop. I was like, you know what, I've been eyeing this palette, I'm just gonna go for it. And I have to say that it is a really cute palette. I've done some really cute looks with it. The video where my boyfriend narrated my eye look, like narrated my makeup tutorial, that's also where I use this palette if you want to see it in action. I've really enjoyed it so far. I do have to say it is much brighter than I expected. It is a very bright palette. It is a very bold and out there palette. Some of these shimmers might look like they might be a little bit lighter, but they are not. Every look that I've done with this has been really bright and really bold. So it's not like this half neutral, half colorful palette that I kind of had in mind. That's kind of what I had made of it in my mind, but it's not actual reality. It's not that I am disappointed, it's just very bold. So be aware of that. I also made a purchase. I made an order from Sephora France. I bought the Rare Beauty Bright Side Bronzer Stick. So this is one of the new shades. It's a little bit more cool toned. I've used it today and I really enjoy it so far. It's a great bronzer stick. It is actually a really nice color as well. I used this in my trying new makeup video. I've really enjoyed it so far. I do feel like, I don't know if it's gonna be my actual favorite bronzer because there are so many beautiful cream bronzers and I have so many favorites when it comes to cream bronzers, but it is really nice. I really like it. I really like the effect on the skin. It's really easy to use. And yeah, I was just really curious and my curiosity got the better of me and I ordered it and I wanted to try it out. Then I usually don't really haul mascaras because I don't really care that much about mascara. It's a really practical thing for me. I don't really try a lot of different ones, but this is the Maybelline New York Sensational Sky High Mascara in the shade brown. I was thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna try this out because I have had this idea in my mind that my eyes cannot handle most drugstore mascaras here in the Netherlands, that they're gonna water, that they're gonna be irritated, but I believe that was Max Factor and not Maybelline, so I thought I couldn't handle Maybelline, but I think it was Max Factor because I have been using this for like a few weeks now and I've really enjoyed it. It has a lot of like length, volume, it looks amazing on the lashes. Like the first time that I tried it, it was clear that it had to like dry up a little bit, but now that it's dried up a little bit, I have really enjoyed it. It just gives a lot of volume and wispy lashes and it doesn't irritate my eyes, and it just removes, like it's really easy to remove as well. So I've really enjoyed it actually, and I just wanted to share that because I feel like sometimes I just kind of skip over things that I try out in my head, but maybe you want to know. Maybe you are also someone who likes brown mascaras and you love to know when I see a good one. So this is a good option. And I think the last thing that I bought this last month, I really hope I'm not forgetting anything, but that's always next month's haul. I can correct myself. But I bought and tried out the Kiko Beauty Roar collection. I bought 4 of the things of this collection. It was a little bit of an interesting collection. I didn't really know what they were trying to do with this collection. It didn't seem to have like this clear view that some of the Kiko collections have more. Like it felt a little bit random. So I just picked up 4 things to try. But the first thing that I tried was the Flawless Look face palette in 01 Beauty Statement. They had 2 colorways, I believe, of this one, and this one has a blush bronzer highlighter. I really love the highlighter in this one. I've been using it a bunch. The blush is also really pretty. The bronzer is a little bit on the warm side, but it's also nice. I just have to use the bronzer a little bit more before I can review this palette, but the blush and the highlighter have been quite nice. Like I've been enjoying those. And then we also have the Beauty Roar PH Matte Liquid Lip Color in 03. This is kind of like a bright like strawberry pink. And I don't believe this is actually color changing or anything. When I tried it in the video, I also got some comments saying like maybe it is a stain. And I was thinking about that too, but it didn't seem to be a stain when I removed it. It was just my usual lip color underneath. So I don't know why they call this PH. I feel like it's just a little bit of a buzzword. It's a nice creamy liquid lipstick. I enjoy it, but I have to try it out a little bit more to really make up my mind for sure still. And then we have the metallic liquid eyeshadow. So my interest in this eyeshadow has kind of like peaked. I have some renewed interest here. I did like it in the video, but I've been kind of trying it as an eyeshadow base, and so far that has worked quite well. But without the actual eyeshadow base that I usually use, I always use the Ethos eyeshadow primer. And when I use this eyeshadow, on top of the eyeshadow primer in the video it looked a little bit crepey, but without the eyeshadow primer this actually looks good. And then I've actually used this product as the eyeshadow primer. So I'm kind of like playing around with that idea. I'm kind of like playing around with that on my eyes. I still want to wear that for like a full day to really see how well that holds, because I'm always looking for things to use as an eyeshadow primer. I'm always looking for eyeshadow primers. I've kind of given up at this point, but last year I was really looking for something that worked, and I'm just kind of like stuck with the Ethos eyeshadow primer, which is not that fancy, not that glamorous, but it works. It's the only thing that doesn't make my eyeshadow crease, but I feel like there's some potential here because this really dries down so like matte and powdery and not creamy at all. It's really like this not creamy like powdery layer on your skin, and I'm just kind of like interested. If this could be a base, then that could be really interesting, because then I would have other base options and I wouldn't have to always use the Ethos eyeshadow primer. But it would be a very like shiny metallic base. But is that a bad thing? Because when I used this the other day, I used this as a base. I put a little bit of an iridescent like duochrome multichrome eyeshadow on top and it looked amazing. So I've been kind of like thinking about different ways I can use that liquid eyeshadow, even though it's not like a liquid eyeshadow that on its own is like the most beautiful, most special eyeshadow ever. It's pretty, but it's not like blowing me away. there's just some interest there, but that's also for me personally and just the problems that I have. Then lastly from this collection, I tried the Beauty World 2-in-1 Cushion Bronzer and Contour. And in the video I was like, this is pretty lightly pigmented, maybe it's a bit too lightly pigmented, but now that I know how this works, I have actually really enjoyed it, but just using a bit more, like being a little bit more heavy-handed with it. I know that it will run out a little bit quicker than maybe some other bronzers in this kind of packaging because you have to use more, but it's a nice color. It blends out easily. It looks nice on the skin. It's very like natural and really easy to use. So I've actually really liked it when applying a little bit more and just really adding more pigment and building it up a little bit more. So I actually really like it. And I've actually found a way to use this that has really worked for me. And then lastly, we have the Monolith EU order. I was almost forgetting. It's right in front of me and I was almost forgetting that I had to show this. So I used this in the Trying New Makeup. I bought the Valentine's Day mystery box from Unearthly Cosmetics because I've been eyeing that for a long time, but it was too expensive with the shipping and the taxes. But Monolith EU doesn't have the shipping and the taxes and it just has a pretty good price. So I was like, this is my chance. I'm gonna buy it. It's available. We're gonna do it. There was free shipping on my order, so that was really nice. So I have 3 of the satin liquid lipsticks. I have kind of like a berry purple that I use in the video. I have kind of like a light cool tone brown that I really thought looks so good. And then we have kind of like a medium cool tone brown that I still have to use. Then in that collection was also the Unearthly Cosmetics Surrender blush palette. I quite like it. It's a bit more glittery than I was expecting it to be, but it is interesting. It is different. It's something that I haven't tried like this. It's kind of like these duochrome, slightly shimmery, glowy blushes. I'm still testing it out. I'm still trying it out, but I do quite like it. It's just with shimmers, I always have to kind of see if it is bothering me or not. And then we also have the Surrender Eyeshadow Pressed Pigment Palette. And I've actually been using this. I've used it a few times and so far I quite like it. Like I like the matte. This pink is like such a pigmented baby pink. It is so nice. Like this is a great shadow. This brown was a little bit more pigmented than I expected, but I could blend it out in the look that I did with it. The shimmers, I feel like this one it's a nice duochrome, but it's a little bit on the standard metallic side. It's not like a sparkly shade. We have different formulas in the shimmers here. Like some are more metallic, some are more sparkly. But the metallics, like the traditional metallics that are in here, I actually quite like. They do work well. But in comparison with the Warms My Blood palette, also from Unearthly Cosmetics, this was really like the Unearthly order. This is a little bit more out there, I feel, when it comes to the formulas, because we have multi-chromes in here, very sparkly shades. I have not used this enough to really tell you about all the shades for sure, but we do have some really interesting textures in here. It's just a little bit more out there. It's a little bit more like an experiment with textures. I feel like they have similar vibes, the eyeshadow palettes that I bought, but this is very like a little bit more soft and wearable and romantic. And then the Warms My Blood palette is a little bit more like sultry and exciting and purple and multi-chromes. I'm really excited about these Unearthly Cosmetics products because I've been eyeing them for quite a long time, but I thought I couldn't get them, and now this was the perfect opportunity. And I'm really happy that I could get into this brand a little bit more, because I was saying in a video where I was talking about brands that I'm not buying from right now that I wasn't buying from Unearthly Cosmetics because it was just too expensive with the shipping and the taxes, but that is now all solved and I can get into the brand again. And I think it's just a really cool brand to try some things from. And that is actually gonna be everything for this video. I really hope there's nothing around here in front of me that I'm just completely overlooking that I wanted to talk about, but I think that was really everything. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe, and then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.